Hi guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be discussing the Q3 result update of three companies, Garware High-Tech Films, Zomato and RACL Geartech, okay? So first let's start with RACL Geartech. I just have a small notes here. So if you look at RACL Geartech, the result is not a shocker, like nothing to be stunned about, because if you look at last con call, the management had clearly told that they can going forward for a few quarters because there is sort of a headwinds when it comes to exports, that they can grow by around 15 to 20 percentage, right? That is what they were targeting, and they had cut down the guidance earlier, that earlier they had given the guidance that they could grow by 25%, and they had cut it down to like 15 to 20%. And that is what the result has been also, the result has been the same. If you look at the year on year growth, the company has grown by 14 percentage. अगर आप QOQ देखते हो तो 10% से grow हुआ है. PAT on the other hand has been very flat on a year on year basis, but on a QOQ basis it has grown by 20%. Another reason you will see QOQ so much fluctuation in the sense like doing better in terms of PAT and revenue is because if you look at RACL, the H2 is always better than H1. How do I put this? Q1 is a little bit less, Q2 is a bit more, Q3 is better than Q2, and Q4 is ultimately the best of all the quarters. So that is how it is. But I think, see here, one thing I can talk is about the psychology is now people have seen that entire journey of RACL go, from like an absolute like from 100 to 100 rupees of where the share price was 2 years to a year ago to it went almost up till 1500 bucks. And people have seen that entire journey, and now they'll think that like, oh, now that the stock has a little bit cooled off, they think it is time to buy that business or accumulate that business. Again, don't take it as a buy or sell recommendation, but having said that, that whole psychology thing comes oh, now the business is cheap, it is really time to buy. But nobody bothers to question like why the business is cheap. Why is that a business that was growing at such a fast where the stock ran at such a fast rate, like what has happened like now it is in this consolidation phase? The answer is very simple like the pace of growth ka business jo hai, it has fallen down from 30%, 25 to 30% to over 15%, right? That is the reason, right? So before doing anything, make sure you read the con call and understand the business, and and see that the demand is good, there is no headwind, and the direction of the business is good. The other thing is, of course, going forward, the target that was there to achieve 500 crore in by FY25, what will happen is that will have to it will take a bit longer because the company is no longer growing at the rate at which it used to grow. Okay, so the next one is the a bumper set of result that we have today was Garware High-Tech Films. Absolutely great. One thing I really love about the business was, in the last con call, if you see, the management told that they would want to achieve around 2,500 crores in revenue by this year, and that is by FY24. And I believe in the FY23 their revenue was around 1,400ish crores in that range. So overall, right now, if you look at the last three quarters, Q1, Q2, Q3, if you combine, the target of achieving that 2,500 crores has already been achieved. As I think as of Q3, the total revenue, the 9-month revenue is around 2,600 crores. So they have achieved the guidance well before the target, right? And that is what the revenue is also like. If you look at the revenue has grown by 40%. अगर आप उसका PAT भी देखते हो, PAT also has grown by I think around 80. EPS has grown by 83%, PAT has grown by 61%. So all the parameters that are there, revenue, PAT margin, EBITDA margin, आपका जो EPS है, everything like ticks off the box. So it is like an exceptional set of numbers that you can call. Garware, no complaints. Only thing is, I would like to look forward to the con call and see, like what is the guidance going forward, and what are they planning ahead. And I will cover the entire business model of Garware because the business model is quite, I would say, quite a bit tedious to explain, because they have a different kinds of films that goes. Some they have that vehicle films, then they have paint structure films, then they have the solar films and everything, and every film is different from each other when it comes to the way the functions that are there. So I won't be able to cover it in this one video. So I will just do a separate video for that. Once the result season is over and the con call transcript comes out, I will just start doing the video like how I used to do before, just read the transcript and do that long form of videos. And I think that would also paint a better picture of the business of the current quarter, and it would make sense there. This is just a result update just to give you a gist of just looking at the result doc, how the result has been. And the last one is Zomato. So of course Zomato is a new age business, but one thing I'll tell you is with Zomato, I always never even bothered to read the business because it was like a loss making business, so kya hi hoga, like that. Although it is a quite unique and a new tech age business and everything, I never bothered to read it. But now you'll see, like, from, I think I've been tracking it from last quarter, and you are seeing it is doing quite well. अगर आप देखते हो उनका revenue has grown by 68%. It was always growing revenue at 40-50%, but now they've grown revenue by 68% on a year-on-year basis. QOQ में अगर आप देखते हो, sales has grown by 15.4%. Even one thing, like I told you, right, one of the many reasons why I never took a serious interest in the business was, like I told you, it was a loss-making business. But now even that is not there. They've turned profitable. Last year it was the same time in Q3 they were reporting a loss of 364 crores, and now they've reported a profit of around 124 crores. Even last quarter it was profit of around 21 crores, and now it is 124 crores. So there's a huge shift in terms of path that we talk about. And I think even last time, or I don't remember when it was, where the management had told कि like going forward in Q1 FY25 उनका जो Blinkit का stores है, even Blinkit will turn profitable for them. So yeah, overall great set of numbers for Zomato. I think the tables are finally turning around for them. The only thing I'm not able to wrap my head around is a huge market cap of the business. That I think the market cap of the business is around 1 lakh crore. But see, here is the thing. I think it could also be my own premonition here, or my own preconceived notion here when it comes to this, because whenever I play anything, usually my checklist involves something, finding like a low market cap, low valuation, and just playing it along, be with that company, for that journey of, when the market cap expands and the PE expands and everything. So probably this is my own preconceived notion, because when you talk about the likes of Zomato, right, I don't think today any of us can imagine our life without that. It's like, how Google was, probably to our parents, nobody could have imagined Google would have been such a big part of the life. And similarly here, Zomato, I think it has literally changed our habit when it comes to food delivering, right? Earlier we would probably get our food delivered once a week, and now probably most of us do it like even like four to five times a day. So I think that, and also Blinkit and everything, Blinkit is the e-commerce store is a game changer for them, because I don't think, again, coming back to the same point, today none of us can imagine our life without Blinkit and Swiggy Instamart, right? Like we need any groceries, like boom, just open your phone. And I think that there is this one part of me that gets really scared looking at the market cap, and there is another part of me that has this thinking, like, like, of course, going forward from here, the amount of times people will order food will only increase. The amount of times people will continue to shop from these online platforms, that is Blinkit, yes, Swiggy, Instamart, will also continue to keep increasing, because it is becoming slowly into a huge part of our life. We are getting habituated to that is there. And another thing with all these quick e-commerce stores is, I live in Bangalore, so you can literally find this Blinkit and Swiggy Instamart in the nook and corners of Bangalore. But when I go to my native, like Mangalore, which is again, Mangalore is also like not like a Haldi or something, it's a good posh, like a T2 city, but you don't find Blinkit and Swiggy Instamart there. So I believe the penetration when it comes to these quick e-commerce stores is still there. There is a lot more places for them to go to, and I think the market cap also, on one way I feel like, oh, big market cap, but on the other way I know, like, going forward, this slowly get better. Big can always be bigger. That is always there. So in a bit of like I think it's something like, again, my own biases I have to deal with. But yeah, but overall a great set of numbers. I would really love to track this business and get to know more about this, and I will get serious with tracking Zomato anymore, reading the con call and everything. And yeah, but yeah, that's that for today. Three businesses, I think two have had great set of numbers, both Zomato and Garware. I believe Garware has had a better set of numbers relatively. Garware followed by Zomato, and RACL Geartech, nothing, not great, not even bad, because like I told you, doing exactly what the management had told. 15% का growth बोला था, 15% ही कर रहा है. The only thing that the investors have now have to wrap their head around is like, don't expect the 30% growth that you used to see earlier. You need to understand the fact that the pace of growth abhi ghat gaya hai, and that expectation for RSL Geartech has to come down, that the business, at least for a few quarters, probably it can never go back to 30%. For a few quarters they will continue to do 15%. And yeah, that's it about the business, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.